Hey, I've been zooming around the world a whole lot lately. In fact, was in several different countries just today and wanted to share some of the insight with you. What's going on around the world and what are people thinking about in business? This is kind of interesting. So I wanted to do a little fireside chat. I'm literally fireside. There's a fire pit right here. So if you hear the noise, the gas, that's why. I apologize for that. So what's going on around the world? So this week I've had the opportunity to basically be in about 5 or 6 different countries, and I've also been on a couple of different roundtables with different directors and CEOs and things like that. So it's interesting what's going on in business with COVID. And if you're in business, which I'm sure you are, you kind of need to understand how the mind is working right now, because it's fascinating to look at the, kind of the psychology and the physiology of how humans are interacting, what they're trying to accomplish, how they're trying to get there, and what their self-imposed limitations are. So pretty cool to take a look at and also understand. And really, you need to address this in business. I don't care what kind of business you're in, you got to address this. So let's take a look at these things. I put them on the post here, but I want to talk through them. So the first one is, I think, fascinating, and that's disconnection through disengagement. Okay, so let's think about this. In a relationship, which you're in a relationship with your customers. Okay, let's just call it what it is. Everybody goes, it's not personal, it's business. No, that's a bunch of BS. Business is personal, especially now, more now than ever before. So how do you think about that? Well, you need to think about, are you connected to this relationship? Are you connected? Because if you're not, I'm sorry, you're out of the relationship. So when you disengage, you disconnect. Think about this. So you have a friend or a partner or a spouse or whatever. Let's say you give each other the cold shoulder for whatever reason. Maybe you're mad at each other. Maybe you just like totally disengage. What happens? So if you kind of, the picture of people, they fold their arms and they put their backs to each other and you disengage. You disconnect at that point. So now think about this. What if you did that for 8 weeks? Do you think you would have a relationship left? No, I don't think so. So what makes you think you have a relationship left in your business? And let me ask you this. What is the last restaurant you went out to eat at before COVID? Do you know? Do you remember? I mean, if you can remember 8 weeks ago what the last restaurant was that you went out to eat at, good on you. But I can't remember that. Why? I mean, probably because they didn't if they had been sending me something regularly during the last 2 months, I probably would have remembered that. And that's nothing against that restaurant. Typically, you don't get something regularly from the restaurant, but you do get something regularly from somebody you do close business with. And maybe you run a restaurant and you should have been talking to your people. I don't know. Maybe you should have been putting out videos or something like that. So how do we reconnect with our customers and re-engage with our customers? Simple. You reach out and talk to them. It's that easy. So if you can't reach out and talk to them, send them a video. Right here. We're on here on this doing our fireside chat, talking about zooming around the world. But they're interested in what you're interested in. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing business with you. So think about that. So what's the second one? Fear and overwhelm. Now let me ask you, why don't people take an action? Why don't they buy something? When you're in the middle of a transaction with somebody and they put on the brakes, why? Overwhelm, exactly. The only reason is overwhelm. If they don't want to do it, generally you get a different sign. But if they're overwhelmed, they're trying to kind of go around and do that dance of how do I get to where I need to get to. Overwhelm is a symptom of fear. Overwhelm creates anxiety. And nobody makes decisions when they're in those situations mentally. So think about that next time you're talking to your customer. It's happening a lot. And people are looking for leaders right now because they feel overwhelmed. They want to know, okay, what can I do? What can't I do? We're in the real estate space. What can and can't I do when it comes to real estate? People want to know that, and they're looking for us to say, hey, we have a great program. Here's what we can do right now. And it's really everything you need, and it's really helpful, and it's really valuable. You have to take the helm as the leader and guide them to where they need to go and tell them what can happen. They need to know that. They need that third thing, clarity. They need that clarity in what they can and can't do. They need direction. Okay? They need direction and clarity. So think about these things, because that's typically what we're seeing around the world. This is human nature. This is human nature emerging from a crisis. And realistically, those components are standard human nature. So how do we break through the barriers to get there? I love this, because you've heard me say this before. Kindness. We have to be kind to people. We have to reach out to them and let them know we care and help them, because they want to know that somebody's there to help them and that somebody does care. So let's make a difference. And it's interesting because all around the world, I don't care where you're from, all around the world, people felt the same way. One, they want to get out. They're excited to get out. They can't wait to get out. I talked to somebody who was really close to what's going on in China and how the Chinese citizens are reemerging. Chinese government said, go ahead, go out, go do your thing. And then they all rushed out. They were excited. The Chinese government had to put the brakes on and pull everybody back in for a little while and slow things down. That's what the rest of the world has been watching, and they're trying to avoid right now. But ultimately, people want to get out. Of course, we're social creatures. We have relationships with other people. I can't tell you how excited I am to go eat in a restaurant next time I get to do that, or go to a gym. Okay? I can't wait to go to a restaurant or a gym. Those two things are the top of my list right now, and same thing with my wife. So anyhow, think about those. Think about those three components. You've disconnected with those relationships through disengagement. Okay, we can reset that with video. They have fear and overwhelm. They need to be told what they can and can't do. Video. And they have a lack of clarity in the product or service. How has it changed? How does it now impact them? Again, video. Don't go out and feature dump on anybody, beat them over the head with your features and benefits, because they don't care about your to-do list in your sales process. They care about how much you care. Okay? Have a great evening. I'm going to sit here by the fire. I might make some s'mores. I don't know. Kind of sounds like a good idea. And love you guys. Thanks for all you do. We're getting through this. We will get there. Okay? Be safe, be well, be strong. Talk to you soon.